Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Back on the oval, the rescanned Kentucky Speedway. This is the less bumpy Kentucky Speedway. C fixed on our pace lap to get ready for the green. Qualified 12th out of, I think there's 22. Truck number 8. Not a good qualified effort in terms of the leaders. Quarter of a second off the pole, and yeah, I have no clue what to do. So I'm just going to really hope that this somehow goes all 40 laps green and right front tire becomes a thing so that I can try to not burn it off as bad as everybody else. That's going to be my only shot to have anything. So we're going to see what we can do. Just hope we can keep it clean.
Here we go.
And try to figure out what to do. Well, we got people wrecking already. What? Oh, this start's going to be a blast. We got trucks everywhere. I don't even know what happened, but that was technically a free spot. We've also got 3 wide now because of that.
Still there.
The ovals have
Still there.
not been ceasing to amaze me lately. I just don't even know what's going on with ovals anymore. So we got the 17 to my inside.
Keep it together. Hold your line.
Fortunately, did not get to practice in dirty air, so I'm going to try to figure out what the arrow is going to do in this thing.
Still there.
More so when I have somebody on my outside.
He's still there.
When I'm having the inside, it's not as big of a deal.
Change position. Still there. Still there.
Every time I
Clear
try
on
to
the
slide
inside.
in, there's another truck there.
He's
Thought I
still
could cut down, but the 10 filled the gap.
Still there.
I think he's probably yelling at me for that.
there. Keep it steady. Still there.
Way overdrove turn 3.
Stay high.
10's aggressive. He's working his way up. He is the 5 truck
Inside.
on his truck.
He's still there.
Got 2 5s right around us. And
Still
neither
there.
one are the actual iRacing 5.
12. The guy behind is just clear inside.
Alright, now we're going to get down to the inside. Try to get inside of the 13.
Keep it steady. Still there.
I'd rather be working the bottom right now.
Still there. He's still there. Clear up high.
Alright, so 12th, I think? I think I'm running right where I qualified after all that. Just watching everybody pull away. I don't know, maybe I'm just not driving it aggressive enough.
Quickest lap in this session.
I've never really been able to figure out mile and a halfs in these things. Drove 3, I think I need to lift a little bit sooner. It's single filed out pretty quick, so I don't know how hard it is to make passes. I lied, we were actually 11th, not 12th. I need to lift a little bit sooner going into 1. 16 goes flying by the 13. 13 had issues, he falls back. Ten is falling back a little bit from the 17 and the 6. I'd be okay with the top 10. I'm supposed to finish 8th, but I would be okay picking up just one more spot. Finishing 10th. That time I feel like I underdrove turn 1. 16 is blinking from behind, so to keep an eye out for that. And when he catches me, overdrove turn 3 again, and way too much steering deflection for the speed, so it's not going to do the right front any favors. Seems like he's closing in a little bit on the 17 and the 6, but I think they're also falling back from the front 6. Well, didn't hate the entry, but I picked up the throttle too much, too early. Well, I wouldn't say it was too early, but it was too much, so need to make that adjustment. At least clicking off some green laps right now. 16 is broken away. The 6 has fallen way back. 12 and the 18 are now in front of him.
P11.
This time I feel a little bit better with my 3 and 4 compared to the last lap. I need to apex a little bit later, but figure it out. 16 is closing in and still blinking, so that's something I'll need to watch for. Just gotta nail that 3 and 4. That's where I'm really losing time, I feel like. As I just completely drive the right front into the wall. That's really smart on my part. There comes the 16 with the run because of that. Is he gonna go inside?
Inside line, you got one.
Just let him go. Not gonna fight with him.
Inside clear.
Even though I hate the blink. Alright, see if he wants to go faster and catch the 10. I'll let him burn the right front up.
P12.
That blink's gonna get me though. It's kind of falling back off of the 17 again, so he continues to drop back. We might need to try to get by him. I don't know if that's right front wear already showing itself. Trying to hang with him in 3 and 4. I feel like I'm overdriving it. 12, 18, 20 are the 3 stacked behind me.
Next car is Marshall.
Blink is gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, 10's definitely starting to fall off, or he's conserving tires. You can see the difference in the lap time between him and the 17. The time he was a little bit quicker, but I'll try to follow the 16 by on the inside if I can. The 16 open the hole up. Kind of ran middle, partially overdriving, partially just trying to keep some clean air on the truck. 16's on the inside, 10's got the momentum right now.
Your last lap time was at 32.02.
See what happens here in 1 and 2. Lifted a little too much. Should have been a little bit closer to the back bumper of the 16. Almost contact between the 16 and 10 out of 2. Trying to get a little bit of rotation in the middle of the 3 and 4. Carry some momentum off. Longer these two are side by side. It's not good. Maybe 10 does get back in front of the 16.
P12.
There's a little bit of a block. It's just not going to help his tires at all. I think he's a bit aggressive. Blink from the 16 is still going to drive me nuts. Everybody behind is starting to catch, but partially wonder if it's because of the 10 being slow. Like I said, that's where I feel like I need to get by him.
The time was 32.38.
The 16's kind of lost his stuff too. Almost feel like I'm racing for 10th at this point. Because I feel like if I make the moves necessary to get by now, they're going to be too aggressive and kill the tires. And I'll have nothing left later on. But I know I can't lose touch with everybody up front, otherwise it's going to be too big of a gap to make up. Closing in on halfway.
Well, that was at 32.43.
He's kind of keeping pace with the leaders up front, so it's just more of a track position deal right now.
guy in front is Marshall.
See, the 10 got a little tight there off of 2, kind of came off the wall. I just overdrove 3 really bad. That was not a good 3. 20's been a little bit quicker than me, but everybody behind's pretty much on the same pace, so they're not really gaining. So at least we're holding 12th right now.
Just done at 32.58.
Grab the wall again. Really gotta quit pushing it up so far. I feel like I'm trying to be a little bit kinder to the tires than everybody up front, at least the next 3. So hopefully in the last 20 laps it'll make itself some advantage. I think I leaned on the right front too much there though, through the middle of 3 and 4 and off. Halfway next time. Grabbing the wall again like an idiot. Alright, it's not getting as close to the wall. Keep trying to maximize that arc in, and I'm overdoing it. So, needing to back the braking point up into 3.
Track temperature's rising. It's now 107 Fahrenheit.
Just trying to be kind to the right front.
Okay,
20 to go.
We need to pass Marshall to get the lucky dog position. Half distance. Fuel looks good.
CrewChief got a little confused. Timing must have done something weird to it. Say that I needed to get by Marshall for the lucky dog. Just the 16. 3 of us are starting to catch the 17.
Keep it together.
Side of the 16 right now. Been slowly gaining on them. We've been pulling away from the 3 behind, so just gotta keep working it, and I think at least have the shot at a top 10 if I don't overdrive 3 again. It's gonna kill the momentum off. Gonna pull away. Reset, try to go back after him. Now's where the tire wear is starting to show itself compared to the leaders. He's taking a little bit of a later arc into 1 than I am. 16 is going to make a run underneath the 10 again. 10 falling back through the middle of 3 and 4. I'm not quite there to be able to close up. But he's also not quite there to be able to slide in behind the 16. We'll get the run down the front stretch, both of them. I'm going to try to get to the back bumper of the 16 to keep the 10 from being able to tuck in behind. I think the 10 is going to be worse up top. The 16 kind of loses momentum a little bit in 3 and 4, trying to carry it off. Trying to just get a run from somebody. So we're going to go side by side again. That was not a good entry into 1. Check up. 16 slides in front of the 10. 10's going to look to do a crossover, go underneath. Just kind of long for this ride to figure out who's going to go where. 15 to go when we cross the line. Definitely quicker than both of them, just can't find a way. 17 grabs the wall out of 4. I think I need to make the move on the outside.
He's still there, keep digging. Inside's clear.
16 being on the outside is going to be tough.
Harlow. He's still there.
Trying to get as much of a run as we can down the back stretch. We're going to be even with the 10.
Still there. Clear low.
10's going to push into the 16 or almost.
You got
So
one
it
right
makes
side.
drastic block to the outside to try to stop my
Still there.
run. Take advantage of that, go underneath him.
P11.
Clear. Right side.
He's going to try to carry the momentum on the
Outside line's
outside.
clear.
Is he going to pull the crossover on me? He's just going to get me a bump. I think that should be enough to clear him.
Car inside.
No, he's just going to give me a shot into turn 3. Okay.
One car inside. Still there. Hold your line.
Turn up the chat a little bit.
Still there.
Did
He's
not
still
hear
there.
whether or not that was an apology or a
Clear low.
accusation.
Right side.
Ten's
Clear
really
outside.
aggressive and all over. I think he knows his truck's done and he's just trying to hang on. Lost too much time to the 16. Alright. Alright, so now we just set the run for the 16 and the
Car in front of
17.
us is Marshall.
So it's adjusting the brake bias without meaning to, so
Okay,
get that back to where I want
Captain's
it.
pretty consistent.
Yeah, 10 definitely burned his stuff up. He was falling back. He was not saving tires there. Just gotta keep doing what I can, trust the process, and we'll catch the 16 and the 17. Hopefully there'll be enough laps to try to make a pass.
That was 33.00. P11.
Running about the same lap times as 16 to 17 though, so it's gonna be hard to make up much ground. Especially with only 10 laps to go. To rotate it, center of the corner, get a little bit of a drive off. Just tough to do anything.
That lap time was 33.04.
Still pretty much running identical lap times. Everybody all around us is all pretty much on the same pace. I do as much as I can. 16's tight off of 4. You can see him almost get the wall. I'm just not
Lap time
quick
was
enough to get to him yet.
33.01.
12 is trying to close in on the 10. The only thing I can hope for is that the 10 will be aggressive with his blocking and keep the 12 behind long enough that it'll be too big of a gap to try to catch me before the end of the race. I know the 10 knows his stuff is wore out, so hopefully he'll pull the same moves. Still mirroring the lap times out front, so hard to make up ground when mirroring lap times. Probably should have been a little more aggressive to get by the 10 earlier in the race.
Watch out, Cody, they'll just run into you.
Oh, chill out. I was gonna pass you anyway. Admit you go to the worst, small, obscure college.
Good consistency. Keep
That
them
time
coming.
everybody up front was a little bit quicker, so now it's just about not having the 10 and the 12 catch me from behind. The 12 is about a
Okay,
tenth and a
Jake,
half
next car
faster,
is Marshall.
so we might be finishing in 12th. Unless the 10 can really throw some blocks, which looks like he's trying to do. Definitely looks like he's mirror driving.
You've just
5
done
tenths,
33.14.
6 laps to go. It's quite a bit quicker. Yeah, it's not going to bode well for me. Especially when they're side by side now. Hey, he's going to clear him off of 2. No good. He got by him way faster than I did. Drove it in deep into 3. It's not going to stick in the center. 12's going to have the run off of 4. He clears him. Yeah, I'm toast. It's gonna be 12th place.
You've just done a 33.18.
I don't think there's much I can do at this point. I just don't have the pace.
Push, push, push.
I mean, he's
Catch this
gaining
car.
like 2/10 a lap. It's just so much quicker, and I'm running fairly consistent lap times too, so I don't really think there's a whole ton more I can personally do. They did way better with tire saving. Way better with it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it as much as I can, but also been climbing for a halfway decent oval finish lately, so I'm not gonna throw away something stupid when there's a massive pace difference.
That was a 33.13.
I think he went to go inside, and I took my line because it wasn't quite there. A little bit of a bump, no big deal. Not anything as bad as the 10 did into 3. So we go to the outside through 3 and 4. So can I get the run off of 4, cross underneath me? Nah, he's not quite there, but comes the big run, 2 laps to go. There's not much I can do.
2 laps.
On your right. Clear of 5.
I didn't really think pinched him off that bad on the outside.
That's good consistency.
The more
Keep it
these
up.
runs happen, the less kind he's going to be the next time he gets to me. Turn into a dump. Kind of taking my normal line, like, I mean, it is taking his line away, but haven't really drastically changed my line. White flag. Try to hold him off. Which way is he going
Right
to go?
side.
The next car
There's
is
the bump.
Marshall. White flag, last lap.
I don't feel bad about that one because
That
that was
line's clear.
square in the center of the corner.
You got one right side. Clear of 5.
I don't think I really put him in the wall. I mean, I was washing up, but he probably should have known that's what I was going to do and crossed over. He won't be happier with me, but it is what it is.
Glad we could go green.
Glad we got 40 green. That made it at least manageable. I could have been way further back had we not
Okay,
had that.
We're done.
Yeah, I just probably waited too long to get by the 10 and still probably was not driving well enough on the right front. Take a look at tires after we get the overlay off. Overlays. 5479. Yeah, no good on the right front. That's why it was dead. The 12 had to have had much better wear on the right front. Chat back down. Let's take a look at the start because that start was, I don't even know what exactly happened on that start. Because we had trucks getting put all over the place. Blinking, I think, maybe? Okay, so you got the 9 is out there. And he blinks. Who's behind him? It was the 6. Let's see what happens. I'm backing this up. This is going into 3, and it happened like in the middle of 3 or out of 4, but he's just tightening back up, getting ready to go. He's not the one behind. The one was obviously up front. 9 blinks, disappears. 6 has no clue where to go. He's trying to roughly figure out where he's at, and then he just pops up. And alright, so everybody's checking up, and then all of a sudden the 9's getting pushed by the 6 because the 6 is trying to close up to the truck in front, and it turns the 9 right into the 7. 7 just kind of sends him off the nose. So that screws up the restart, or the initial start of the race. So then 6 goes to the outside, as well as the 13. That's where I had to check up, which gave everybody the gap up front. We all get going. So then that was just weird. Let's look at the deal with the 10. Ten was aggressive. Let's watch this battle between 16, it's the Toyota Care truck, on the outside. 10's their 5 truck on the inside. I'm trying to get my run on the outside. It's the 16's blinks. Yeah, I think that was more of the 10 overdriving it, losing the right front, just pushing up in. Because if you look at this first seam, he kind of comes up. I mean, the 16's coming down towards the seam, but the 10 I think comes up more. I think he was just losing it. Then he tried to, I don't even know, was that a block? Let's see what that looked like from the cockpit. I mean, he just straightens the wheel out. Like, I feel like he was not loose at that point. The truck looks like it's kind of pushing, if anything. So it wouldn't have done that. And then he just turns right. Yeah, I think he tries to kill my run and throw the block. So then I cut underneath him. He's kind of all over. Let's see if he's going to try to... This is where I cleared him going into 1. He likes to hang to the outside. I think this is where he gave me this shot. Going into 3. Just ride my back bumper. Yeah, just pushes me straight up the track. Like, there was no attempt to turn whatsoever. Like, if you watch, yeah, 0 attempt to turn that wheel. I mean, that's a bump and run, which is fine. You just gotta understand that's how it's gonna come back as well. But yeah, it wasn't blatant wrecking, but that was definitely a bump and run. And unfortunately, didn't have the pace to execute it or to make it stick. So then he goes the crossover to the outside. He's gonna lose it because he just overdrove the corner because he's got no right front. So as bad as my right front was, I think his right front was actually worse. I think that was when he had said something on the radio. So he's just falling back and just trying to block as aggressively as he could. So we're going to fast forward to the last couple laps. The last 3 when the 12 was catching me. Alright, so bump there. I'll watch these from the 12's perspective and see. Let's go down the front stretch. See if I really made any egregious moves. Looked like blocking. No, not really. That was just a bump to the left rear again. Wasn't as solid or as hard of a bump as what the 10 gave me, so no harm, no foul. Fine. Still truck length to a truck length and a half behind going into 3, so nothing there that I did. He was just so much better from the center off. So much better from the center off. So I get the run again down the front stretch. Yeah, I don't know. He just elected not to run it up against the wall and kind of turn back, so I don't really feel like I made any kind of aggressive move to the outside there. It wasn't a left turn or a right turn like what the 10 did coming off of 4 to me. So we watch it, we're gonna watch it real time. Just working my way up. Like that was a normal line for me that I'd been taking, and the entire time I'm clear of him. I mean, he's getting the run to the outside, but at no point, at best, maybe barely gets to my back bumper. maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, you can tell me if that was an aggressive block that you would have been angry about as the 12. So we are 2 to go at this point. Still further back going into 3 than he is 1 and 2. He was definitely much better through 3 and 4. I was a little bit closer to his pace in 1 and 2, but still off. So we're going to get the same thing again. Just running my line. And it cuts across the right front. We go side by side that time. I gave him the outside. So I pushed up a little bit, but he lifted for me. If we watch from my perspective. I mean, realistically, I still gave him the outside lane. Like, he still had a lane to the outside that he could have taken. And he just lifted to stay. I think he kind of got on the throttle early, and it might have started pushing him a little bit, because he definitely lifted to stay off the wall. I don't know, he probably wouldn't have made it stick, but I did technically give him an outside line. Like, I didn't pinch his truck up against the wall. It was just, I wouldn't call it mirror driving, but it wasn't anything like the 10 was doing to the 16 or the 10 did to the 12. But I don't know. You can tell me if you think that was too aggressive. I should have just let him by. Wasn't unhappy with his bumps. It wasn't the same as the bump that the 10 gave me going into 3. So I'm not even unhappy with that. Just got to understand that that's how we set the rules of race between the two of us. So I'll probably never run again with the 10 anyways. But you guys can tell me all your thoughts on everything. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's nice to get 40 laps in. Felt like a D-class race where we didn't have cautions, even though it was C-class. Nice to do that well. Definitely got to work on these mile and a halfs in these. I'm a little bit better at mile and a halfs in the Arctica compared to this, and I'm not great at Arctica, but definitely better at that compared to the truck. So got some work to do for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. A lot of fun. Nice to at least not get wrecked, get caught up something. Got close to where I was supposed to finish. All things considered, I'll take 11th place. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.